What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Tony Shen. I'm back with another FL Studio beat tutorial. If you're new to this channel, this is a series where I make beats specifically using free sounds and stock plugins, or basically sounds that are very easily accessible to beginners, so you don't need to drop 500 bucks on Omnisphere just to make a fire beat. Today we're gonna make an Iann Dior X 24K Goldn type beat. We're gonna jam out with the guitar. It's gonna be super dope. But in order for the best guitar sound and just to get the overall vibe correct, I'm actually gonna record my own live guitars. And I'm actually going to upload the guitar stems into the link in the description so you guys can download the guitar loop and make this beat from scratch with me, along with a collection of other random guitar loops that I've played over the years. They're all royalty free. It's just, you know, a special gift for all of you guys. So you guys don't have to only use the guitar loop that I recorded on the video today. There's a bunch of other loops that you guys can use to make this beat with. If you're interested in more tutorial videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And I also give away a ton of free sounds all the time. So with that being said, let's record the guitar loops. So we just recorded the guitar. As you can see, I did nudge the lead guitar a little bit because I was slightly off time. So here's what it sounds like combined. Okay, so now what we want to do is just clean up the guitar sounds a little bit. So let's throw in these two loops into our mixer track. Now, actually, let me rename these. Let's see, chords. Then we'll just rename this lead. And to rename, just F2. It's a little shortcut. Lead. Okay, just to keep it a little clean, right? So first, let's just decrease the gain a little bit because it is coming in a little bit hot. And what we want to do with the chords is take out some of the bass, because once we add our own 808s, it is going to clash a little bit. So let's just cut out some of the bass. As you can see, in the process of cutting out the bass, the overall gain decreased a little bit. Like before, it was almost at negative 12 decibels, right? Now it's like we cut it out. We cut a lot of it out, so we could actually boost this back up. Okay, and now let's play with the lead. It's a little bit loud too, so let's turn down the gain a little bit. EQ this a little bit too. And we can actually beef this up a little bit more too, by adding a little bit of distortion. Distortion typically sounds pretty good with guitar, so whenever you're playing and messing around with guitars, you can always experiment with adding different types of distortion. So let's try Blood Overdrive and see what it sounds. Sounds pretty good. As you can see, when you turn up the preamp, the overall gain increases as well, so we can actually turn down the post gain just a little bit. Now we can turn both these down just a little bit and leave a little bit of space for the bass and the drums. Okay, so now let's work on the drums. With the drums, we're gonna use Tony Shen Slap Pack Volume 1. It's in the link in the description. It's free for you guys to download as well. Again, all the sounds that I'm using in this video are free for you guys to download, either that or their default FL Studio stock plugin. No need to stress. I'm providing everything for you guys. Let's add a clap. Let's use this clap. Okay, so let's add our clap and then add this pattern here. Then just make sure. And then we can normalize it just to make it a little louder. Just copy that. Let's do an 8-bar loop, just because I like doing 8-bar loops. And the hi-hats, you can just do a basic 2-step. Use the relay hat, just basic 2-step. With the 808, we just want like a short, nice, clean, stubby 808. Use the Drones 808. Now, I'm just gonna tell you, the key of this is in C# minor. Now, what if you didn't know what key it is, or what if I was just a mean person and didn't tell you what the key of the sample is? How do you work your 808s? How do you know which pitch to make your 808 at so it's in tune with the sample? I'll give you a few tips, right? First tip is you want to, if you can, you want to isolate the chords, because the lead oftentimes doesn't align with the root note of each chord. So if you tune your 808 and you pitch it in according to the lead, sometimes it's going to be off pitch and it doesn't sound kind of awkward. So if you can, if it's possible, mute the lead and then just tune your 808 in according to the chords. Another tip is to make sure your 808 is in tune in according to its root note, right? That should be your first thing that you do before doing anything with the 808. So what you want to do is Control E or Command E if you're on Mac, and then hit this flag button, detect pitch regions, and if it's tuned to C, then you can leave it, because by default FL Studio sets the root note to C. But say this said like E instead, like instead of C2 this said E, just right click on E and then make sure that the root note is on E. But right now it's in C, so we can leave it. And the second thing you can do is create an envelope so that when you press a note, it doesn't leak into the next note, right? Like if I didn't have this, it sounds super muddy, so you don't want that. So create the envelope. So when you have that set, now let's actually go into our piano roll and I'll show you how you can tune your 808 to the sample if you didn't know what key it was. So like we isolated the chord, right? So right now it's only playing the chord. So now you just want to listen to the chord and figure out what note it is. And what you can do is sing the chord, and then once you have the voice in your head, match the key and the piano roll to your voice. So bum 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 bum. So it's a C#, right? Another thing to note is that it helps if you're playing at a higher octave, just because it's easier to hear the pitch. Like if you just played it at the regular bass range, like a C# kind of sounds close to a C, like it's kind of hard to distinguish. It helps if you play at a higher pitch first, so you're singing, right? And then you're matching the 808 pitch to the sound of your voice. That's the E. Boom, boom. It's a B. Boom, 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 boom. That's a A. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then here you can get a little bit more interesting, right? It's the second half of the 8 bar, so you can be a little bit more experimental with the rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Maybe add another note here, just for that bounce, you know. Okay, so now we have the pitch ready, you have the rhythm intact. Now we can pitch it back down, so command down to pitch down. Next step is to add a kick. We would use the Tobias kick just for that little bit of punch. With the kick, you can kind of just follow the 808 melody. And then let's add a snare. Just give it that extra layer of bounce. Yeah. Next, this is optional. Open hat always fits with every beat. Open hat. Let's see. Put it at the 1. Now we're getting somewhere. The chords kind of sound a little bit dull right now. It's okay. We can add a little bit more distortion to just bring out the high ends and add some more frequencies. Just play around with the threshold and the mix knob until it sounds good and desirable. Here's the difference. You hear how there's more oomph when we add distortion? Let me actually bring it up a little bit. Add some delay and reverb to just make the lead sound a little bit bigger. So let's go to Fruity Delay 3. Turn down the wet knob a little bit. Reverb. So just one last touch before we start arranging. I kind of want the chorus and lead to sound a little bit more glued together. It kind of sounds like too separated and like all over the place. So what you can do is actually first let's route the other drums to the to your mixer tracks first. But now so now we have all of our stuff linked. So like I was saying earlier, I kind of want the chords and then lead to sound a little bit more together and coherent. So what we can do is highlight both of these by holding Control and Shift, and then right click here and then route to this track only. So now they're just routed to this track only, right? What we can do is kind of glue compress them together. So just add a little bit of compression. And then you want to set the threshold low enough so that the compressor actually activates. So as you can see, right now it's at -15. So the level's at -15, right? So the compressor is not even gonna activate unless you go below -15 threshold. Add a little bit of compression. Turn up that tactile just a little bit. You just want to bring it out more because we took out some of that gain, so let's bring it back up to like the level before. So now you can hear it's a little bit more coherent and like it sounds like it's more together because we compressed these two sounds together. have everything done. The drums are pretty much mixed already. Maybe just do some leveling, like turn the 808 down a little bit because it is pretty overpowering. And the kick could be turned up actually, so let's turn the gain up a little bit. Everything else is like good the way it is. I already mixed the drums in the kit already, so you guys don't have to like do too much tweaking in terms of like EQ and compression unless if you want to. But yeah, so basically all you really have to do is kind of level it and then adjust the volume to your liking. So now we have everything set, we can actually just arrange the beat already. It's a pretty simple beat, so it's just split by channel with your drums, so you can isolate each drum pattern by itself, so it's a lot easier for you to arrange. And then yeah, let's just start putting this track together. Give it that little bit of anticipation. This might be like the verse section, so we can go back to this track where we routed both the chord and the lead, and then we can add a little filter here just to give it a little bit of change. Let's automate this filter so that it only activates in this verse area. So just double click, right click, and then create automation clip, and then turn this down here. So just hold. Have it just gradually open up. Here maybe we cut out the bass and then just have the other drums playing, so you give your ears a little break. And that's the whole beat, guys. Like I said earlier, the guitars are going to be available for you guys to download, and the link is not only going to include this guitar loop, but it's going to include a bunch of other guitar loops that I've compiled over the years as well. So you guys have a bunch of loops you guys can play around and just make beats to. They're all royalty free. Feel free to sell this beat to as many people as you want. I don't really care. I'm not going to collect anything. I'm not going to come after you. So it's just my little special gift for you guys. With that being said, I'm going to play the beat and preview it for you guys. But before I do that, if you guys watched all the way to here and found this video to be useful in any way or found it to be entertaining, please hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. I love seeing this channel grow. Now I'm going to play the beat and preview it. So thank you guys so much.